Hello guys, God bless you. My name is Jonathan Rivera, and just recently, by the grace of God, I became the middle school pastor at my church here in Orlando, Iglesia del Calvario, and it's a huge privilege, an incredible honor, and I'm so excited for everything that God has in store. But the closer that I've gotten to taking on the position and on the role within my church, I've realized how huge of a burden it is. Middle school is something that is usually neglected or completely altogether, or it's something that's not given a lot of time, resources, or efforts into. If you have a middle school ministry within your church, I can almost guarantee that it either is completely neglected, like there is not one, or the opposite, where there is one, but much time, resources, and effort is not given into it. And I've had this incredible burden to speak to you today on the need and necessity of middle school ministry within the local body and within the church. I personally have had the opportunity to see a lot of middle schoolers, meet with them, talk to them, get into their brains and see what's going on within this generation. And there's a pattern that's beginning to take place. Elementary school is the new middle school. Middle school is the new high school. High school is the new college. And college is basically the new hell. Things are getting worse little by little by little. They say that nowadays a child is introduced to his first pornographic image at age 10. There's literally kids that are having sex before they even get into high school. This was something that was unheard of in the past, but now it's becoming a regular thing. Girls as young as 13 years old are getting pregnant. Kids are using drugs before they even get into high school. I had a friend of mine who works with me, and he actually came up to me and said, "John, my son who's 12 years old just had sex for the first time in a bathroom. What am I supposed to do with that? How do you deal with that?" Middle school is becoming a very bad place, and kids are being exposed to sin and to all kinds of things that negatively affect their future and their destinies, especially with their relationship with God. And something has to be done. And that's why I am such a big proponent and supporter and advocate for middle school ministry. I believe that middle school kids are too old to be with the children, but they're also too young to be with the high schoolers. They need something that's just for them. And that's why middle school services are so important, where they feel like they have their own place, where they can find themselves and they have an identity, and they find their identity in Christ, where they have their own worship and they have games and they can still feel like a kid, but they can also have a powerful word that's just for them and something that they can understand at their level, but that can continue to help them to grow. So I believe middle school ministry is the solution to a healthy youth ministry and children's ministry. You transfer kids from children's ministry to middle school, and then eventually from middle school into high school, and then you develop a kind of chain and a momentum that goes on where they continue to grow progressively over time, and we have something where we can take them in and help them to grow and to change and deal with the life issues that they go through in this world. Just recently this summer, I had a middle schooler. Her name's Jaira, and she lived a very reckless life already at 12 years old, was doing drugs, having sex, living a crazy life. She came to our program, and God did an incredible thing in her life. Now she's gone back to school. She evangelizes. She loves Jesus. She tells everyone she knows to come to church with her, and there's great fruit in her life, even at such a young age. She's such a testimony of the greatness of middle school ministry and the power that it can have in young people's lives. So my encouragement to you is, if you don't have a middle school ministry within your church, begin one, even if it starts small. But whatever you do, make sure that you're reaching out to these kids. Love them, because if you don't, then the world will. And if you don't tell them who they are in Christ, then the world will tell them who they are in themselves and by what they're defined by in the world. So I encourage you, if you don't have one, begin one. If you do have one, put resources into it, give effort into it. Don't take it for granted. Don't believe that they're just annoying or too young to understand, but know that you've got diamonds in your hand, and their future and their blood is in your hand. So I encourage you to move forward in ministry, but to never neglect the beauty of middle school ministry, because the future is in their hands. God bless you guys.